In today's video, we're going to be talking about Nintendo Switch patents and what it means for the future of new Nintendo consoles. Let's get into the video. If you're not subscribed and you enjoy the video, make sure you hit that sub button. It's free, and you can always change your mind. Enjoy the video. Nintendo NX was one of the first Nintendo Switch patents leaked. It started many rumors of what the next Nintendo console would be and created much hype in the community. The handheld console showed would be similar to a PS Vita, but the entire face was a screen, which gives the virtual joystick that everyone hates and I hate. I hate the virtual joystick. However, it gave us the first ideas for what Nintendo might have in store for the future. The NX showed promise in many areas that could lead to other ideas. But we're not here to talk about the old NX leaks, but still very old interesting hinged Joycons. Quick side note, this is not the only patent we're going to look at today, but it is the most likely maybe going to happen. We'll see. There are some other good ones. The hinged Joy-Con, as many people have seen, has a bend around 3/4 of the way up the Joy-Con. Most feedback from the Joy-Cons is that they're too small and not ergonomic, which is why Nintendo decided to come up with this idea. After more digging, I also found a curved version of the hinged Joy-Cons that would seem to even be better for ergonomics, but there would be one problem with the hinged Joy-Cons entirely. When hinging, the Joy-Cons move away from the Switch's tablet, which would hopefully be fine, but could still cause problems if detached or a large amount of pressure is applied. Now, I'm not Nintendo's lead engineer or anything, but more importantly, the idea that Nintendo is thinking about this is very fascinating. Another patent I want to look at is the railless Joy-Con. Yes, you heard me, railless. This Joy-Con is rounded off and might seem pointless, like how would you charge it, and it would probably get lost like a rogue AirPod, but if it was larger than normal Joy-Cons, better battery, and specifically for the Switch Lite or docked-only Switch, then it could actually be pretty good. Although you'd not be able to attach the bumper rails because there's no rail, but maybe it would be bigger and already have buttons there, and maybe feel a little bit better on the sideways mode. The next patent we have is the Switch with a cut-in grip. Looks very similar to the grips you might get now, but permanent. I can see why they would and maybe not sell this, because it looks pretty nice, but and be worse than the original design. But it's cool to see that Nintendo tried to make the comfort higher on their priority list. Alright, next patent we have here is actually a very interesting one. You know when you're playing Fortnite and you try to peek with a sniper by moving your head, but then you realize, what the fuck am I doing? Well, this is actually kind of just that. A device that you'd wear like glasses or have IR detection and locate where your head is to the TV and track to give you the real first-person point of view for you. Someone actually made this on YouTube already. It's like a small game they may have just like shooting stuff. Maybe I think it's actually for Duck Hunt, but it's on YouTube. Go check it out. It's pretty cool. And this idea is probably one of the better ones. It takes VR and approach, but without all the motion sickness and tripping balls aspect. If you played VR before, you know what I'm talking about. Next one is one of my favorites, is what I like to call the Nintendo phone. I mean, come on, what if you were somewhere, just taking a lunch break, and then you whip out your phone, a few minutes later, you're starting to play some Splatoon or Breath of the Wild. Pretty spicy, I know. It would be different than your iPhone or Android today, but you would not have to worry about carrying multiple devices. The patent here has A and B buttons and a D-pad, but also a number pad, so this is obviously a very dated patent, but the idea is still there, and Nintendo definitely thought about it. Next we have an old Wii Remote patent, which kind of looks like a brick and less of the controller, but it's kind of getting there. Still has the buttons, but a lot bulkier. Other Wii Remote patents are less about the remote and what you might attach to it. We all remember the steering wheel. I mean, heck, I even have one of those, but do you have the football Wii Remote attachment? Probably not. Or how about the helmet or racing glasses? There are many other ones that I did not mention. I'll probably put them up on the screen, but it's kind of interesting about like what they thought about. They're like, hey, we can put a Wii Remote on this thing. Let's freaking do it. Last one we have today is what looks like the original Nintendo Labo design. It actually looks like an Oculus Quest headset more than cardboard, but it still has the Switch mounted to something right on your face. Although I do feel Nintendo could have actually made some pretty good games, or at least made Breath of the Wild or Odyssey the entire game first person or virtual reality. Pretty hot. Now that would be worth an entire replay. I mean, they already have detached controllers with straps, and then all they would need to do is just, keep that Switch from coming off your face, and you'd be pretty good. Because every time you gotta keep it on your face, you wouldn't have to break your arm every time you want to fold some cardboard. The Switch can run pretty intense stuff like Breath of the Wild, so it'll be very interesting. Alright, that's gonna do it for today's video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this. Tell me what you think. What kind of Switch patents are we gonna get? Is the Switch Pro gonna have hinged Joy-Cons? Maybe, maybe not. It's possible. It could be pretty spicy. But until always, I will see you guys later. Peace. And some early Breath of the Wild 1 early concept crud, because what's pretty interesting and pretty cool, and maybe they're gonna use it for the next game. So let's just get right into the news. Alright, we got the first website here. It's got a bunch of stuff, and it's got a bunch of early development things here. So first one we got here is the Guardians. This one actually